This session is entitled Sacrament. The weeping tree was 2 months ago. Those that died are almost forgotten, but for those that lived, they will always remember what they saw. Though Aline Morova, the woman who was abducted, was returned safely, she never recovered from her ordeal and died a few weeks after. Now the summer begins to dawn, not that it means much in Indroth. The sky is overcast as always, and the brief glimpses of the sun hurt the eyes of the people of Volfan Towers, as they're so unaccustomed to light. It has been quiet recently. The monthly elections have come and gone, the people have grown calm once more. That light appears in the sky again. That blue star that seems to call freemen such as you, daring you to venture beyond the walls in search of an old world. The freemen have taken to staying all in the same bunkhouse, the North Tower. And while there are almost 12 of you left, most of them prefer to stay in their rooms waiting for the jobs to come. You all, however, have not. You've come down for breakfast one morning to find Nathus Ulgrich, the captain of the guard, standing waiting. He's short and grubby, as you recall, though looks to have cleaned up a little since he sent you out to the weeping tree. His presence here can only mean one thing, though: work beyond the walls. And we'll do some character descriptions. So we'll start with Laniel.
Laniel is tall, taller than she has any right being, probably, and paler than most wood elves from around Indroth. Her skin is a milky white and she has short chestnut hair, cut short to keep out of her eyes. Sharp features, as most full elves have. That's really distracting, Rob.
Oh, sorry. I just didn't realize you could hear that. I thought I muted.
Yep. Nope. Yep. Anyways, and he continues to make the noise.
Well done,
Yeah,
Rob.
that's her.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Because I couldn't hear because of Rob.
Yeah, sure.
Briefly? Is it basically how the picture looks?
Yes. She basically looks like a picture. She's tall. She's got pale skin, short hair. She's a quiet woman who watches a lot.
Cool.
Keeps to herself, quiet, and with like a hint of amusement most of the time.
Okay, cool.
Shit. So I was like, I pressed the button on my mic to mute it, but apparently that doesn't mute it in Hangouts. So I couldn't hear myself, but apparently you could all hear me. So it's awesome. Yeah, that was cool. Dan, could you describe your character, please?
So you may well have sort of seen him around. He is this tall, charismatic guy that goes by Klaus. He is dark hair and sturdy build, and he preaches something that I think people are some people are starting to listen to, but he preaches to, you might know him because of, might be preaching in like at the corner of the market square or something, but he has seen things, like he says that God's talked to him and that we need to stop cowering in these individual settlements and fortifications. We are going to die like this, and that to survive we have to link with the elven and the dwarven and the human colonies dotted around, and we have to bring sort of prosperity, and united we will survive. He has this kind of stormy look to him, shall we say, but there is a charisma there, and I think some people are starting to take him seriously. But he is like relatively heavily armored and in reasonably fine gear, and he, his god is Zarua, who he says has that through him he can perform minor miracles, healing or whipping up the gloom and the cloud that permeates this land to strike his enemies and that kind of thing.
I'm going to need some spellings in the chat, but that was dope.
I will do. Also, I combined the German for Smith and Storm into his last name, which is Sturmit, which Storm Smith probably sounds better than Sturmit, but
sounds realistic. Like it's a real name. I like.
So Zarua, it's something like Basque for sky. I think was that one.
Dopeness.
But yeah, you may have noticed that he occasionally. I don't know if you're still doing your crazy long rest thing or not, but
No.
Okay,
no.
So he can perform minor miracles, and you might have seen him heal someone, or you might have seen him be able to create lightning or light this gloomy world a little bit. And people are starting to listen to him because he's gathered these gifts from somewhere, and he's so keen to venture out, which is, as far as I gather, basically death in this world.
Yeah.
And we'll see if he dies. But
yeah, so the original long rest rules were a short rest is 1 day, a long rest is a week, but you regain spell slots every morning.
Okay.
But I think we'll just do normal.
Okay.
It's brutal enough to not rely on hacky rules. Jade.
All right, so Tegan is a relatively young elf with brown hair and dark brown eyes. Much like the picture, she dresses in browns and tans to kind of blend more readily in the environment, into the woods. She has a reputation for, I guess, being a little brash and impulsive, perhaps the folly of youth. Yeah, got a little bit of a swagger to her. Probably needs to be knocked down a peg or two. Yeah, that's Tegan.
Awesome. And finally, Liam.
Brynjolf is like your standard grumpy dwarf. Red hair, just as you see there. You've never seen him out of his armor. He seems to wear it all the time. He's probably tall for a dwarf, so like maybe just 4'9", maybe 5 foot at a push. Seems to have a constant scowl on his face, but also on his, I think I made it his left side. I can't quite remember. He has like a deep, like ugly purple scar, and like his eyes have kind of gone white from a battle that I imagine you've probably heard about at some point. And he always looks ready for a fight. He's not very trustworthy, but if you can get under the skin and get to the real person, he's actually a really good, nice guy. But it's tough because he's a grumpy shit, and he curses all the time because he's Scottish.
And we love him. Yes, so you four are the only four down in the kitchen of the North Tower, so I referred to you all as Freeman in the intro there. That is essentially Indroth for adventurer. So you get most people, Freemen are essentially the people who are willing for coin or morals or whatever it might be to go beyond the walls and actually try and take an active role in making a change. And so, yes, the four of you, Freeman, pretty much the only ones who are still willing to actually go and breathe Freeman. are having your breakfast. Maybe together, maybe apart. I'll leave that up to you to decide when Nathus Ulgrich comes in. And he bids you good morning, sort of with a nod of his head. And he's got sort of unkept stubble that used to be a 5 o'clock shadow, but is now almost a beard. And his hair is sort of greasy and lank. He says, "Morning, everyone."
Brynjolf gulps down his food and pays him no mind.
What was that, Dan? Sorry?
Who is Mathis Freeman to us?
You are Freeman. That is your title in the city. Nathus Ulrich is the captain of the guard in Waltham Towers, and is sort of in charge of giving the Freemen their jobs.
Okay.
So he is the one who commissioned the group to go and find Aline Morova, who was the woman who was abducted by the cult of the Weeping Tree.
And I think out of the people remaining, I think Laniel and Brynjolf actually did work for him in some of the downtime.
Yes, I believe so too. So you know him fairly well.
Okay. Morning, Captain.
Yes, well, it is a morning, but not a good one. And he sort of nods to the innkeeper for a drink. And it's
Stars were out again last night.
Were they? I wasn't paying attention. And he sort of rubs his brow. Listen, I've got a job beyond the walls if you want it. But, well, it's up to you if you want it. He sort of leans against the bar, sips an ale.
What troubles the towers?
This is one you'll like, I think. Sort of permits himself a half smile. There's an old tower out north. We've been rebuilding it, hoping to make our way further out, but, well, we've stopped hearing from them. 10 people left to rebuild it, but none have returned as of yet. There's supposed to be 1 or 2 back last week with news.
Did you send guards?
Guards don't go beyond the walls.
You sent 10 people out beyond the walls with no one to protect them?
Well, they had weapons themselves. They volunteered, but there was 1 or 2 freemen with them. But
there you go.
We've heard nothing.
You didn't send the right freeman then.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping you can maybe do a better job.
I mean, such denizens of such faith. They work towards our salvation. They deserve our help.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think
Right?
Laniel and Brynjolf just kind of exchange a look.
There's
Remember
money
the
in
last one that spoke like that, Son of Stone.
I say nothing else.
He's generally quite upbeat, despite I think there's a little bit of an aura around him of this kind of crackling energy, and his eyes might, shift a little in color or something.
Is he human?
Yes, he is human.
Mm.
He kind of he doesn't know whatever history that you have with, but he seems keen to protect these people. They risk their lives outside these protections to see us united again.
So you need a pack of more saps to go out there and possibly fucking die, right?
Depends how you put it, but yeah.
So what exactly does the job pay to get it right this time?
She asks the right questions.
Well, it's 15 gold before, 15 after each. But I don't know.
Are you alright, Captain?
Yeah. I'm alright. Just you know, it's getting to me a little bit recently.
Spent a night out of town shagging hookers again.
He says nothing to that.
You don't need an insight check to know that he's like not all right.
Yeah, he's definitely not all right.
So would we know this is a large amount of coin to be?
Pretty good amount. It's not. It's it's about right for like a standard Freeman job going beyond the wall. Like,
Yeah, we were paid 10 gold for the last one.
yeah. Thank you for remembering that.
I was too busy paranoid.
So 15 now and 15 later to fix your fuck up.
Yeah.
To be fair, I usually wind up fixing his fuck ups for free.
About time you get paid then, right?
About time. And he clicks his fingers and like stands. Wipes the. I don't know what we were eating. Like if it was just like schlop.
Oh,
what?
it's so the guy who runs the place, his name's Boatin Ungraf. He's like the skeeviest, cheapest dude in the world. So it's like leftover slop from another inn or something.
I chug that down, wipe it like off my beard, and just go. Right, Famigone.
All four of you coming.
Danielle nods. The last time there were blue stars, we went beyond the walls.
Coin first.
Right. Yeah, kind of slams down his drink, reaches into a satchel at his side and pulls out, counts out 4 stacks, 15 gold.
Don't worry, Mattis. We'll see this place rise. It'll be grand.
Yeah. He like drains his drink.
I whisper to Nathis, "Can I get his 15?"
That's between you and him.
Fair enough. I grab my 15 and pocket it immediately.
Same.
Well, he says, well, go now while you've got the light, I suppose. But if I see you again, there's another 15 gold waiting for you. If not, I'll spend it on drink or something.
That's my boy.
He just turns away and heads out.
Is there a bar in this?
Yeah.
What kind of booze do they have?
The shittest ale.
Oh man.
So it's essentially they had lots stockpiled and then it's dwindled. Like once trading wasn't happening anymore. All that's been able to be made is like what they can kind of grow and farm in like the neighboring very poor, very low light soil. So it's like just watery, and I don't know what makes beer bad because I don't drink that swill, but yeah, it's bad.
How much would it be for a shot?
Well, I mean, a shot of not ale. Yeah, that's going to be like half a copper, like nothing.
How much for 1 gold?
Someone do the maths.
Like 1 copper, that's going to be whatever.
Like 100.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's probably not very. It's not very good though. I'll just throw 1 gold and say, "Give me something strong, strongest thing you got."
He just puts a bottle on the table.
That'll do.
Roll me a history check with advantage.
Like I'm a dwarf, and I know my boozers.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's my fucking history? First nat 1 of the game, boys.
Boom.
Woo!
Advantage.
Liam.
Oh, advantage. Oh shit. That's a 12 then.
Okay, yeah. This is called Murian rum, like Murian. He was an old brewer, and basically he's dead. Died like 100 years ago. But he made a fuckload of rum before he died. And so the bottles are not terribly sought after because there's a lot of them, but they're good. And they're pretty much like the last really good alcohol you can get.
Oh, yes, so keep me going, lads. Pop the cap off and start. I don't chug it, but I like take a decent sip of it, cork it back.
It's black spiced rum. Cracking shit.
Nice. How far away is this tower? Do we know? Like,
So you see, like, basically pinned under the gold is like a vague map that he's had someone draw up, and it looks to be about a day's march north of Waltham Towers. So Waltham Towers is sort of built kind of into the side of a hill, and so it's sort of around on the far side of the hill and up another hill. So probably like 15 miles.
So if we like leave, we'll make it by nightfall, or is it one of those things where we're gonna have to like camp on the way there? Like, do we need to?
You can probably make it by nightfall, but you don't like if you get waylaid by like a few hours, then you won't. But see, you'll be getting there like dusk.
Well, no sense waiting around for fucking the light to go away.
I agree with the dwarf. The light is our ally.
He shoots you a bit of a dirty look.
Yeah, I knew he would, but yeah, I agree with the dwarf. Light is our ally, and as he does that, like you see him sort of like lean forward or something, and his hand opens, and there's like a glow, a pleasant, nice glow.
Fucking hell. I take another swig from my rum, and then we'll continue walking out the door.
Is everyone happy to go then?
Yeah, Danielle's gonna like lay a hand on like Matthias' shoulder as she walks out before leaving.
Who's?
Matthias? Mathis. Sorry.
No worries.
But not gonna say anything to him.
I'm gonna give him a playful punch in the gut.
Yeah.
I almost said balls, but I thought that's a bit harsh.
A little bit. The dude's pretty down already.
He can't reach his shoulder, so you know.
Yeah, but he sort of like slaps you on the back, Brynjolf, as you leave. Shakes his head. Says, I hope I do see you again.
I hope I see you again and all. Because it means I'm there fucking deed. And I carry on.
Keep faith, Mathis.
This is like sorry.
You go?
No, you go ahead.
He just says, keep faith, Mathis, and then like gives him a smile and walks out the door.
And I was just going to say that he's got like the demeanor of somebody that like has already resigned to the fact that he's sent 10 people to his death and thinks he's sending 4 more.
That would require an insight check.
Okay. Well, that's slightly better than Liam's natural one. Is 16 plus 4 for 20. 20.
He seems like he has the demeanor of a man who sent 10 people to their death and is about to send 4 more.
Yeah, Lionel just kind of like does the shoulder grab, gives him a squeeze, and then like walks out.
And just gives like a sad sort of slow nod. And so you step outside into a typical dreary day. Maybe not raining, but it definitely like it looks like it wants to, but it always does. And you start heading down the main road towards the walls, and there's a few guards, and they sort of give you a nod and begin slowly opening the gates. And there's 2 sets of gates, and they open them both like the minimum that it would take for you to pass through, and then close them immediately behind you. You know, take no risks. And you're out free. You begin walking north, the direction of the tower, and sort of passing through past all the farmland that's kind of out right in front of the keep with the towers. And you see, you know, these like dreary what's the word? Dehydrated, like light-starved, mineral-starved crops that farmers are desperately trying to somehow salvage, as they always are. And you kind of skirt the hill for a while before continuing up the path. Would anyone like to do or say anything in particular as you're going?
So we're going up sort of a broken road towards where this tower is.
There maybe once was a road there a couple hundred years ago, but at this point it's fairly just standard.
I'm just curious where, like, in relation, is this tower, a day away, or like halfway between it and the next presumed town, or?
So, yeah, the tower's pretty much exactly a day away. Like, you'll arrive by dusk or around dusk.
Okay.
As for where the nearest town is in relation to Bolton Towers, it's actually no longer known. It's sort of a lost secret because everyone sort of stopped talking and stopped communicating, and lots of maps and that sort of thing were destroyed erroneously, and so it's actually not at all known. But this tower is a relic of the old world.
Okay.
And so they're trying to rebuild it. And so this may have sort of been a halfway point between two towns, or maybe skirted the edge of a different empire, but no one really remembers anymore.
So we think it generally lays along an old road. Presumably, that's why we're on the old road.
I mean, you're not on a road. Like, as far as you can see, it's not a road. It probably
it's like the occasional flagstone stuck up at a weird angle or something.
Yeah, potentially. But yeah, I mean, the road hasn't been used for 200 years, so, or 200 years plus. So
sure. Okay. So Klaus is like, just to anyone in general, just saying it out loud, like, this is a fascinating experience to come out here and see the work of the ancients.
Admire the scenery on your way back.
Have you been beyond the wall before?
I don't know. Rob, have I? A little bit, or
you are a freeman, which means it's your sort of you're basically an adventurer. So you very well might have. I'll leave that up to you if you've done work. That's sort of what the writings were for originally, but you haven't had the chance. Okay. So yeah, very much up to you if you've been beyond the wall. If you have, it's probably to do some minor jobs. Maybe you were like guarding the farm, or maybe someone saw like a pack of wargs or wolves or something nearby, and sort of you and a couple others went out to deal with them. Like, you won't have been out for any huge missions. So this is definitely the biggest time you've been out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you've been beyond the wall, but you've maybe not stayed out overnight beyond the wall. But yeah, up to you.
For a short time. I've not gone as far as this tower that we're talking about.
It's going to be a fucking eye-opening experience, lad. I swig for my rum.
You seem frown a little bit.
Well, try not to get yourself or us killed by doing something stupid.
I mean, we're out here. Isn't this already doing something stupid?
I mean, yeah.
I prefer to think of it as something hopeful.
Oh, God.
Hope is a precious commodity.
You're right about that, Master Dwarf.
Please don't call
and I believe more of us should have it. There's more reasons to be hopeful every day.
There's some horrible shit out here, so not a lot of hope.
It was bright once.
See? He like turns. Are you full elf?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd turn to the full elf. Reason to persevere. We can bring that light back.
I swig from my room.
I mean, are you for real right now?
I mean, you doubt it, but you're out here doing things for the towers.
Yeah, and one of us is probably going to die or get horribly maimed in the process.
I like side eye Dan's character, whose name I've forgotten, with my
Chaos.
purple scarred face. Which, to be fair, did happen within the walls of the city, but that's not the point here.
I aim to see us all home. And then out again.
I mean, you'll do us fine. I take another swig from my room.
Tegan is a full elf too, right?
Yes.
I thought she was half elf.
No.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
my mistake whenever I was giving you.
Right, okay.
But
fair
she
enough.
is young, if I remember right.
Yes.
Laniel is one of this like out of this century. And Tegan looks like just matured, correct?
Yeah.
Irma, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brynjolf's like middle-aged in dwarf terms. I don't know what that is.
Like
About 200?
250, yeah.
He's about that.
250.
250.
So yeah, you were born just after everything went dark.
I
Brynjolf,
lived smaller before that, so I've only ever known darkness.
yeah. So as in, yeah, you've only ever known it as most people have, because it happened like I think 400 or 500 years ago. So, just for context.
Like Daniel will kind of like say, and like an aside, like there are many children that have forgotten how to dream. The hollow ones of the Voltum Towers and of Indroth, they have forgotten.
That is a sad state of affairs. I hope more regain the ability to dream. I've had the Lords of Light come to me in dreams, and it gives me hope. Hope for a better future.
There was a little one in the city that dreamed. She was the first one I had met since coming here.
Brynjolf looks away, sort of ashamed, and swigs from his rum.
Yeah, Laniel kind of has like a hard look on her face as well, and looks away from Brynjolf, but
Okay.
yeah.
You've got some rhymes to read there.
I take it she dreams no more.
Laniel nods.
That is a shame. She would have been an example to all of us.
There are so many of the Hollow children that are disappointments, and she kind of like glances a bit at Tegan, but then puts her eyes forward.
Ooh,
I
mean, he can read into that, but that's not entirely what he meant. But yes, he's with a bunch of jaded and bitter people in this horrible land.
The campaign.
Yeah, I know. Well, if this tower is constructed and renovated, it'll be a beacon.
There'll be someone else people like us will have to fucking look after. Because none of you rich cunts back in Indroth are going to do it.
We establish this, and we establish a foothold beyond the walls of the towers. And then from there, we can only gain.
I just hope these people were prepared. There were things in the woods not but a month ago that were snatching guardsmen off the tower walls. Hard to imagine what people outside that protection may have fared.
He said they were armed, and there were more freemen. And I hope he wouldn't send them out entirely unprepared. This is important work they're doing.
He sent us out basically unprepared. He walked in and said, "Oh, you bastards for D and a thing? And we were all like, aye. Because what else we got to fucking do?
But you've been out before, and so have I. We might have some idea of what is out here. Mathis does his best.
That's wrong.
Maybe one day he will reap the benefits of such.
There are not enough men and women in Indroth that do their days.
Too true.
Drink to that.
I hope to inspire more of them to strive.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Right then.
Takes a sip from his rum.
Just assume every time Brynjolf isn't speaking, he's walking slightly in silence, takes a swig from his rum, and then continues to walk slightly in silence.
Swearing under his breath.
Only when you speak.
Yeah, I know.
So this walk kind of leads you back up sort of to the top of another hill behind Indroth, and this is really probably for all of you like the widest view of the world you've maybe ever had, or maybe you've had in a long time. It's laid out before you as this sort of long expanse of the kind of country you can see in my overlay there. This sort of long rolling green hills, which you could almost picture being beautiful on a nice day, were Indroth ever to have one. And you see that sort of leading on through this kind of thick grass that coats all these hills. There's a speck on the horizon that is almost certainly the tower you're aiming for. And so as you sort of begin heading down into this country, you find yourselves, I don't know, depends on how hopeful you are, but maybe feeling slightly more positive about it, being able to see the world in this way. Though for many of you, you might just be thinking about how there's nothing guarding your back out here.
Is there anything moving out there?
Not that you can see. There's a few sort of forests and tree groves along the way, but there's nothing that you can really specifically see.
So no wildlife or anything like that?
No, not particularly.
Are there any bits of like thicker bushy areas or grass that might indicate that there's like a pond or some sort of water source?
Make me a perception check.
Yeah, sure. Pugh. No. Ow, it's bright. And the sun, there's like the one time there's sunlight out from behind a cloud and it blinds.
Yeah, you don't really see anything that would indicate to you a body of water.
Or Brynjolf coughs up a piece of the cork or something and it flies and hits her in the eye. It was a 1.
Damn. You guys are rolling bad. I'm loving it.
Just means we'll start rolling good when you try and kill us.
Keep up that hope, Liam.
Oh, shut up, class. Yeah. So you sort of continue navigating the sort of path of least effort through the hills, not necessarily wanting to go up and down, up and down, up and down, but maybe skirting around most of them. And the sky remains very overcast. Not a particularly dark day, but not particularly bright. That's sort of the standard Indroth weather. And it ends up being about lunchtime before you come across anything in particular.
Double check. Sorry, is Indroth the name of the region or the city?
Indroth is the name of the country that you live in, the world.
Voltham Towers is where we live.
Voltham Towers is the name of the town.
Gotcha. Cheers.
No worries.
In my head, for some reason, I had Indroth as the city, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, a couple of people have had that, but that's all good. So, you hear a sort of whimpering, pained human sound coming from a grove of trees up ahead. It sounds like someone in terrible, terrible pain. And it's very quiet, but you can just sort of hear it kind of floating over the breeze towards the four of you.
I immediately draw my axe and my shield.
Yeah, Tegan will get her longbow and get an arrow ready.
Laniel has a sword and shield. She also gets ready, but will begin approaching the sound.
All right, hopes and dreams, leave away.
I will approach it with shield and warhammer ready.
So stumbling out of the forest is a man. You may know him, you may not. He is a sort of or if you do know him, you would know him as a carpenter from Volfin Towers, and was one of the ones sent out to the new tower. And he, his name is James, for those of you who didn't know. And he sort of leading the group out there, and he comes stumbling towards you. He's wearing, his clothes are like ragged and filthy. He hasn't got anything with him, it seems, and he's clutching his stomach. And you see a great deal of blood, dried blood, sort of coating his clothes. And he's just sort of whimpering. He says, help me, please help me." And he's kind of stumbling towards you. He's not wearing any shoes. He looks freezing cold, and his feet are sort of slightly blue.
I go to like catch the man, like weapons still on my belt, but the shield's on the arm. But are you okay, friend? And I'm like trying to see the extent of his injuries.
Please, it hurts so much. And he's like kind of bending double and like clutching his stomach, and his head is like shaking from side to side.
Does he have any obvious wounds on his stomach? Like slash marks on the leg?
You can't really see. He's wearing a shirt that's bloody, and it's both his arms are wrapped around his stomach. You can make me a perception check, or I guess medicine if you'd rather.
Perception would be 20, medicine would be 18.
Okay. He looks unwell, but you can't see any specific wounds on him.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. It hurts so much. And he sort of like lets out a sort of another whimper and bends over again.
Can I try to like lay him down?
Yeah. Yeah, he complies, but he just curls up into the fetal position, like holding his stomach.
Can I
help him pin like on him so that the cleric can inspect him?
Yeah. So as you go to
try and straighten his shoulders out or whatever.
Yeah. And so he struggles again. She says, "No, please, no. If you lift up his shirt, you see there's like a large bite mark right in his stomach.
And presumably where all the blood is from.
Yeah. But it looks old and sort of, or not old, but a couple days maybe. Definitely infected. The blood and is sort of congealing and going black.
Friend, what did this to you? And like his hands are starting to like move over the bite marks.
Yeah, so he's just screaming and trying to push you off him, and he's sort of inconsolable at this point.
I can knock him out if you want.
Okay. As he like struggles it against me and Laniel, I tried to ask him what was going on, but they like the hands will like tense up over the bite marks on his stomach, and there'll be a flash of light, maybe even like the slightest like peal of thunder or something. And I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. As you do, the wound doesn't heal as you would want it to. And I'm not going to make you take the spell slot for that.
Okay.
But there's like this sort of movement kind of beneath the skin around the wound.
Oh, God.
And it sort of roils slightly. Make me a religion or medicine check, please.
May I do that as well? Since I'm right there.
Yes.
I actually have religion. That is a 15.
See?
This is a 7.
Okay. Leniel does not know what is wrong, but Klaus, you think this wound is cursed.
So like his hands are like tensed over this guy's stomach as he's like pulling against him, and he looks up at Leniel, who I imagine is sort of kneeled down with him, and the wound resists the blessing. It does not heal. It's tainted, cursed.
Starts cursing in Elvish.
And he's like inconsolable, he's shaking from side to side. He's like, get off, please, get off.
Do I think he might be possessed in any way from like his behavior?
No, he doesn't seem possessed. He seems in control of his own motor functions.
Can I like having done all that? Can I roll for something to try and assess what this bite is? Do I have any idea?
You can roll me a nature.
Okay. Ooh, that's 18 on the dice plus 1, 19.
Okay, you think this is definitely not just some animal bite. You think that it is very likely this man has been bitten by something very dangerous. Precisely what? You are unsure.
Okay.
But
Something
it's
twisted.
some kind of twisty, gribbly monster.
He like says slightly quieter, like maybe I don't know if people are like over his shoulder or not. This is a tainted beast, twisted. The bite is not natural.
If he says that, Laniel's going to lay a white hand over like his stomach and start like murmuring maple catch and carry ashton ama elderberry, and she's going to cast protection from good and evil.
Okay. Let me just look at that spell quickly.
Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against aberrations, celestial elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target, and the target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. If they are already charmed, frightened, or possessed, they have advantage on a new saving throw against the relevant effect.
Okay.
Lasts for 10 minutes.
Lasts for 10 minutes.
Good to know. Can you just list off for me again, please?
The creature types?
Yeah.
Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Very nice, thank you. So he You don't see any change come over him in particular. And he just continues to struggle. And you feel him starting to, it gets a bit harder to hold him down. He's sort of thrashing more and more, and I'm not sure, but he's sort of shifting your arms a bit more. With advantage, can you make a check to see if you can hold him down, please?
I don't roll well. I got an 8.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yes, please.
11.
Okay.
I didn't roll very well either.
He rolled a 17. So he throws you both off and rolls away. And he says, stay away. Stay away. And he starts kind of holding up a hand to like try and keep you at bay. And he's like crouched low, like a predator.
Where are the others?
He's just staring at you.
If you don't answer people's questions, I'm gonna cut your fucking head off.
He like goes to look like he's saying something and then just kind of lets out a pain scream and clutches his stomach again, as the wound kind of pains him once more, and he falls to his hands and knees, and you see like his body is beginning to sort of shift slightly and change. Kind of his shoulders begin to like crack and snap and broaden out, and his arms kind of twist and break and begin to elongate, and he's screaming in pain.
I'm gonna cut his fucking head off.
Go for it. Make me an attack roll.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Do I have advantage because he's crouched over her?
Oh, go on then.
Oh, that's much better. That is a 20.
Yeah, that's
That's over 20.
okay. Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit, that rolled into the wrong area. Oh, and max damage as well. That is 13.
13. Damn. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, nice.
I follow through. I follow through with my threats.
Yeah. So,
But Danielle's getting up to her feet and helping Klaus up to his feet as well.
axe just like buries into him, and you see him just look up at you with these wild eyes. And as your face is close to his, you just see like it like snaps and cracks in the middle, and you watch his skull just cave in at the front, and then like something from within pushes out, and you see like this sort of his face just elongates into this snout, and he just screams in agony. And as he screams, it sort of turns into this barking roar. His whole body beginning to be covered in like this coarse, kind of thick, wiry fur, as he's sort of just this, before you, this hulking, muscular humanoid version of a wolf that lunges forward and is going to try and bite your head off. Brynjolf.
Bring it on, you hairy cunt.
That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Nope.
So I imagine you've got a shield, right?
Yeah, so I might have just like.
Yeah,
bring
you
the
pull
shield
it up,
up.
and his teeth are just like crashing and crunching on the edge of the shield.
Fucking hell.
His and you can just feel this like intense strength behind him now that wasn't there a second ago. His claws reach around the shield to try and get you. 17 or 16, sorry.
Nope.
But again, you're sort of just this
Like,
dwarven bulwark.
I'm like
You just
swinging back at him, like with
Yeah.
my axe. I maybe don't hit his arm, but I'm like enough to keep him away from it.
yeah, definitely. We'll roll initiative now, people.
I
Yeah,
return.
we are.
I'm
Just in
guessing-
time.
Woo!
Guessing
Just
this
in
guy's turned on to a horrible monster.
Mhm.
A werewolf. Yeah. And
I also-
Laniel helped you get up to your feet since before nastiness happened.
Yeah,
17.
I got 10.
Very quick.
Yeah, I just sort of ducked out when
No
we were
worries.
trying to hold him down. So has he like grown claws and become awful?
Yeah, so he threw you off, rolled away. His body basically, like, as he was changing, his bones were cracking and snapping and then refixing. Brynjolf went to go cut off his head, and he just like buried the axe in him, and the dude just looked up, and like his face kind of elongated, and he turned into a werewolf, tried to attack Brynjolf, but Brynjolf was dwarfed it up and defended it.
In this setting, do we know what werewolves are? Are they a common taint? Is it something I might have read of? Or
yeah, I'll definitely let you make a history or nature check.
History.
I still need initiative from Dan and Jade, please.
I got 10.
10.
I got 12.
My history is 16.
16.
My
Yeah, you've heard of werewolves.
nature,
Okay.
Carry on.
nature 16.
Okay, you have heard of werewolves.
Okay.
Let me just. So, what you would know is that basically they are just people. The original, like the first ones, were just people who got basically really unlucky and were like some of the people who were outside the walls when the world went dark, and if you get bitten by a werewolf, that's it. Like it's very unlikely that you'll not become one yourself. There have been cases of people coping with it, and unlike normal werewolves, you don't come out, or you don't tend to come out into your werewolf form when the moon is full. You don't have that lunar connection. It's more based on your mood. You know, if you get really angry or really distressed, it's likely that you'll transform. And you know that, yeah, they're very infectious, incredibly strong, and live tortured, painful lives.
Short lives? Or
I mean, this one will.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
okay.
Like there hasn't been a werewolf around from, you know, to die of natural causes that anyone knows of, you know. There have been people who've been werewolves in the past in Volton Towers, who sort of managed to keep it hidden for a while, and then eventually they got caught, they kill a load of people, and they die in the fight.
Fun times.
Oh, it's always fun times. Brynjolf, you're first. He's just crushing in on you with this strength, but so far you're holding first.
Fucking kill it. I'm gonna hit it with my axe. That's 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Nice. Fuck you, you massive fucking dog. That's not Scottish. I don't know what happened there.
You massive fucking dog.
You massive fucking dog. Fucking shag your ma. 11 damage.
Nice.
You son of a bitch. And then I hit him with my axe in the arm. Whilst laughing at my own joke.
Yeah. So yeah, you just like slice into his fur, and it's like you get that thing where you hit it and your whole arm just you get like the pins and needles that run up your arm because it's like hitting iron. And you can see that your axe is cut to the bone, and the werewolf just screams in pain and continues attacking you afresh.
I get fucked. And then I immediately bring my shield back up. I don't know if I have any bonus actions. No, I'm not using them here. Carry on.
Nice. It's go now.
Oh, shit.
It is going to try and bite you again.
Come on.
That's better. 18?
Just hits.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution.
We're a dwarf.
Indeed. You take 8 piercing damage.
Oh, I rolled a 19 and my con's +5. So.
And you are not
Jesus.
cursed with lycanthropy.
How much damage? 8.
Yes.
4, 5, 6, 7. Oh shit, I can't do maths. I can't do maths, but D&D Beyond can't do maths.
Very nice. And then it's going to slash at you with the claw. 18. Same roll, 18.
Oh no.
You take, that's pretty rubbish roll. 6 slashing damage as the claws just like rake across your neck and down across through your armor, and are just like, when they hit your armor, they're not hitting you anymore, but they like scrape into the metal.
Mhm.
And these claws are like 2 inches long each.
Yeah, fucking dick.
Leniel.
Leniel's gonna circle around from behind, so I can flank with it. Will I get advantage with Brynjolf and the wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he up in its face, I think she's gonna come around and roll a 22 to hit. No, a 20 to hit.
Hit.
And rolled max damage for 12.
What's with you guys and rolling max damage?
Slashing. I have good dice. 7 PM. You.
Damn. Well, right then. Is that your turn?
Is it like she's gonna like slash into it with her sword, and she's gonna try and like she has her shield, and she's gonna like try and like small of like the werewolf's backs.
Yeah. And it just like howls in pain, and you see it sort of beginning to turn away from Brynjolf a little bit. Klaus.
Yeah. Just trying to in metal shield.
How does Klaus have? What was your initial? What did you roll?
10.
I rolled a 12.
Yeah, no, it's Tegan. Sorry.
All right, I'll kind of move to where I can get a shot and look at Klaus, and yeah, this guy's full of so much hope. And that is going to be a 16.
16 does hit.
Sweet. For 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Very nice. Klaus.
He kind of like looks back to Tegan. I'm sure he was before he was tainted by the skinwalkers. It's an unfortunate fate that befalls those who brave the outer. And he will turn to Thing, and he'll shout out to the others. Although the dwarf is like already wrestled off a bite, is like, try not to get bitten.
No fucking shite.
I am going to toll the dead. There is going to be a thunderclap, and it's going to hopefully affect the beast. So you have to roll a save, and my save, it is DC 13.
What save?
Toll the dead is a wisdom save.
He rolled a 11.
11.
Yep.
Then he shall take a d12 of the damages.
Technically.
Technically.
Very nice.
Technically, he will take 8 damage.
Mr. Declan.
Take 8 damage, Mr. Declan.
Can I add, Rob? I'm very sorry that this video doesn't get monetized.
Yeah. I could not care less. So, this thing has an arrow sticking out of it. It's bleeding and looking pained, and then it growls and sort of turns away from Brynjolf.
Also, I'm at a distance. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Oh, the cheeky bastard's gonna get 2 turns.
You're playing Indroth now, baby. And it turns and growls at Leniel, and then Boit.
Boit.
Do you know what rhymes with crit? Crit. Hey.
Shit.
Nah, it got a natural 20.
Another word that I'm not going to say because I'll get looked at weird.
It rolled like an absolute dick though. So that's gonna be fucking 6 points of damage.
Oh, thank goodness.
But I am gonna need that con save.
Yeah.
And hey, guess what happens on crits?
Oh yeah.
D100s happen.
Shit.
Oh no.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's a 4 on the con.
Oh shit. If
Lenny,
I had
you-
blessed, it wouldn't have helped.
You feel that it clamps down. We're gonna say on your arm as you were striking it, and it sort of like does a crocodile death sort of roll, and then throws your arm, and you just see this like black sort of ichor like dripping in your arm, and it feels like hot and irritating on the skin, and you can feel it seeping into your arm, and you feel this like sense of just sickness, and everything begins to go cold immediately. Something is very wrong.
It probably hurt more than the bite. It's
And 6 fucking damage. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like this delayed reaction where she's all like, because like Laniel doesn't usually make noise whenever she fights, and so like it kind of like clamps down, and she just kind of goes, ugh. And then like the ichor and like the curse or whatever like seeps in, and that's whenever she starts going like starts screaming.
Definitely. Now I would say she's having the worst day because she's also going to roll a D100. Roll high.
Oh no.
Yo.
See?
Lanio reached the heady heights of level 2.
Ooh, 94. Thank you, Carefree Dice. 94.
94.
Yeah.
I heard 24.
Yeah, I had 24. I was like, oh, damn. Okay. Leniel,
I got excited because that was a 9.
Okay. So on a 94, you have a cursed, painful scar.
No. Don't you like it when the dice fit the narrative?
Yeah, this is it's more than just a cosmetic application though. It begins to hurt whenever it rains, sleets, hails, or snows. And in that weather, if your scar is hurting you, whenever you attempt an action, you have to succeed on a DC 15 con save. On a failed save, you lose your action and can't use reactions until the start of your next turn. However, it's fixed. It's fixed when you receive magical healing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But, you know.
I imagine there's another part of that that's not going to be fixed by
I mean, that's a 94. Like, it only gets worse from there.
I got paranoia and someone else.
Yeah, you got paranoia and
Yeah, I think
I think you got double paranoia because you got
because
like
you failed
times.
because it's if you get crit on or if you it's if you get crit on or if you fail a death save, and I think you failed 2 death saves.
Yeah, that was it.
You got paranoia, and then I got like a something like chest. I recall correctly.
No. The paranoia wasn't a roll on the table. That was a roll on a different table.
That's right. Yeah.
That was from the Derish's forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you remember the Derish's.
I said, can I heal this if I make my entire story for this month healing it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to be like looking over my shoulder for the rest of the fucking Indroth. Anyway, sorry.
Bring your Fuga.
Oh, fuck, I mean, I would it.
You've just seen it tear into the arm of Leniel.
He said, "Don't get bit."
Guys, we had a plan.
Stick to your fucking plan. That's 18 to hit.
18 to hit. That hits.
And 11 damage.
11 damage. Very nice.
I like to imagine I like kick it in the calf and then axe it in the back.
Kick it in the calf. Axe it in the back. Very nice. So yeah, you kick it and axe it in the back, and it sort of like stumbles forward slightly and then just turns around and is going to backhand you with claws. But rolls a natural 1.
I get fucked.
Yep. And so seeing that you sort of sidestep it, it's just going to lunge at you with a bite to the face. Well, plus 4. 19.
Yep.
Give me a con save, please.
Oh, shite. That's 7.
We're going to be a party of werewolves after this encounter.
Okay, you take
I like to
5.
imagine when it hit the backhand, I dinged it off of my shield, like bashed my chest twice. I'm like, come on, Ann! And it fucking bit me in the head.
Yeah, it came on then. You take 5 piercing damage.
Okay, I also don't look great in general.
Yeah, and it's you just feel that same like burning sensation that quickly turns to a cold chill that runs through you.
Ah, you fucking cunt.
Lenya.
Currently raining
No, it's not raining.
or one of
You're cutting out a little bit for me, see. I don't know if that's
forecasts.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
okay.
Staying. No.
You're
So
roboting pretty
yeah,
hard.
we can't really hear you. You're roboting. Okay, she's gone.
Oh no.
No.
Is this better?
No.
No, not really.
Is this better?
No. No.
No. Maybe just turn down your bandwidth all the way. It's Indroth, the curse.
I know.
This happened
Oh.
last time.
Oh my god, it did.
Oh no, it's bad fucking lag last time. And shit.
What?
You sure this werewolf isn't a lag wolf
Is
and
it
it
better
bites
now?
people and then they lag?
I
Wait.
don't think so.
Say more shit.
Okay, I don't know what Spotify maybe. I'll try closing out.
Turn your bandwidth all the way down as well.
I'll turn your bandwidth.
I'm down.
Whoa.
Ooh, is that better?
Could be. I don't know.
Can you hear?
Yeah. Oh no.
No, we that was premature.
No, you're cutting out a lot.
Well, I'm gonna try and stab it in the spine.
There we go.
Heard that.
What's up?
That's a 20.
She's gonna stab it in the pine. Wasn't it?
22 hit,
A 22
Damage.
does hit.
7 damage.
7 damage. Very well. So this thing is just getting kind of smashed from 3 sides, screaming in pain. Tegan.
Good, I'm fucking glad.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Oh yeah.
Probably a smart strategy.
Probably not with an 8.
8 total?
Yes.
No. Is that your entire turn?
Yes, that is my entire turn.
That was good.
We are only level 2. Or she's level
I
1.
am level 1. Don't even lump me in with the rest
You
of
know
you.
what? I would have just moved on, but there was this really obnoxious player in the last campaign I was in who, whenever I did that, she would just shout at me for not letting her have an opportunity to use a bonus action. So.
I mean, I could.
I
I mean,
I retroactively apologize for that. She sounds like a cunt. I'm surprised.
I'm sure you're saying,
lovely things.
lovely things.
I heard something that sounded vaguely like cunt.
Yeah, she said she
There's no
sounded like a
vaguely
cunt.
about it.
I definitely heard.
I doubt very much it was punt.
Cunt, cunt, and a fucking, I don't know. I don't know where that runs with cunt.
Herr Klaus.
What you doing, Jade?
I already
She's been
had.
and gone, man.
Yeah, man.
So is it my go?
That is why I said your character's name.
Okay. I might have missed that in all the terrible quality calls we have going on right now.
C's the only one bad for me.
Okay.
Yes, agreed.
I'm not sure there's not an awful lot I can do apart from thunderclap him and Toll of the Dead. What was that, Liam?
Nothing. I'm not trying to influence your character in any way.
Good. Because I didn't hear it, so you didn't influence me.
Okay, good.
Please make a wisdom.
No, not this again.
Wisdom roll is a natural one.
That is excellent. You can now take a d12. Let me get the right dice.
Please roll 12.
Why do you turn into Jester when you told the dead?
I don't know. I don't know. That is 9. You take a 9 necrotic damage.
Take it a 9. A bit Italian then.
Take it a 9. Take it a 9.
Take it a 9. All right. The wolf roars, and he's going to do his two favorite things in the world.
On who? On who? On who?
On you, actually, now you said that.
Oh, God.
22 to hit with the bite.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oof.
8 damage.
Ah, shit.
Crit. Claws on Brynjolf. Ooh, that's a natural 3.
Yep, no chance.
So it just like bites Lenyol again, and just kind of throws it backwards, turns just this big kind of cricket bowl like arm sweep above its head, and you just backed it, and you hear just 2 of its claws and 1 of its fingers break against your shield, and it howls. Brynjolf.
I'm gonna find your puppies.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry.
Stab them right in their fucking arseholes.
That was the weirdest threat I've ever heard. I'm gonna find your puppies.
I'm gonna fucking stab them in the arse with the axe.
It didn't. I couldn't sneeze. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. Carry on,
Right.
Liam.
I'm gonna use my second wind
Yeah.
to heal myself so I don't fucking die. And only roll 7. No, not 7. 6. I can't do maths. But that's more than I
Plus
had
what?
before. Yeah, that's what I mean. I rolled a 4 plus 2 is 6. 4, 5, 6. That's a respectable 9. And then I'm gonna stab him with my axe.
You're going to
Or
stab
not.
him with your axe. That seems like
I
not
rolled
the
a
most
3.
effective way to use an axe.
That's why I didn't stab him, because I rolled a 3.
He's just hitting him, poking him with the blunt end.
That's
This
not how you
usually
use
works.
that.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm just so distracted by the fact that it literally bit on my face.
Yeah, so this thing is just like bouncing between you and Leniel. So like it kind of knocks you back. You swing, but it's already heading back towards Leniel, which we're going to resolve now. Oh,
Please
that was a weighty roll. Does 15 hit you, Leniel?
They know.
That I'm just going to look at her overlay.
No.
No.
So you kind of managed to bring your shield up, wincing in pain as the blood and ichor is still gribbling all over you. And that's going to be a natural 2 with the claws. This thing is getting tired and slow. It's almost dead, and it's trying desperately. You see, it's like one of its fingers is kind of hanging off at an angle from where it smashed into Brynjolf's shield. Leniel, it's your go.
Hopefully you can hear me say that I rolled garbage. An 11. Does an 11 hit?
An 11 does hit.
Ah, sweet. That on my D8 for 12.
Describe what it looks like as this thing dies.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Like bouncing back and forth between me and Brynjolf, and it comes back round to on Laniel again, and the sword just through its open jaw.
So,
Like the top of his head off.
oh, I missed all that last part after broken jaw. But
Something about his head off. So
This is through top, the head comes off, and then I cleared my throat. That was it.
thank you. And so he reverts back to the broken form of the man that you once knew, just sort of lying in a puddle of blackening blood that's leaking from his head. Your sword probably still embedded in him.
Brynjolf immediately starts cursing a lot and holding his head in pain. Shit! Fucking. That sort of idea.
can I attempt to like run out? I'm imagining he's gonna like throw me off, but can I attempt to like help them in some way? So, try and analyze the wound if it is awful and tainted or not, or
It looks
Can help.
identical to the wound that the dude had. You're pretty sure they're tainted.
both of them because the dwarf passed.
I passed
He got
one.
You
bit
passed one
again.
and failed another.
Oh,
This
shite!
is what you get for walking off.
I am sorry.
Oh, you
You have
don't?
things to attend to. Okay.
I don't have the option.
So they're both like
Oh, okay.
infected. There is black ichor or something.
Yeah. And both Leniel and Brynjolf are looking very pale.
Yeah.
Leniel especially.
Paler than, yeah. Like I imagine that Laniel's kind of like pulling up like the chains her arm and looking at like the like nearly her nearly white skin and like this black mark on like her arm, and she's gonna like try and lay on hands and assume it's going to resist the healing the way James's did.
Tis, the rest of your wounds heal up though. So you can regain the hit points. It doesn't affect your max hit points. But you're still in a lot of pain and you're still a creepy werewolf.
Nah, I don't want to actually use any of my hit point pool, my lay on hands pool.
What do I know about werewolves and how quickly they turn, or if there is like some sort of grace period? They're relatively cool guys.
So probably a couple days before the first time they turn. When they do turn, they're not completely mindless apart from like the first few times, but it is possible to sort of get it under control a little bit more. But obviously your average person doesn't really stick around to find out whether or not a werewolf's under control.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, indeed.
I back away, trying to keep a poker face, and when they are too busy tending to their issues, I'm gonna kind of like whisper to Tegan, "They're both touched."
That's not good.
He kind of like slowly nods.
As I sort of regain my composure, I take a swig from my rum, put it away, and go, right, let's get this done before I start wanting to eat my own vomit. And I start walking back in the direction that we were going.
So do we think he was a werewolf before he came out here?
No.
I would
That
doubt it.
wound, his bite was a few days.
Yeah.
The purple scar was, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
So
Oh,
where
sorry.
are the others?
Scattered, perhaps? Or maybe they managed to fight off whatever attacked them, and he was just the unlucky one.
He came out of a nearby stand of trees, correct?
He did,
Yeah.
yes.
He came from that direction. Perhaps we can investigate over there. See if he's had any victims.
I mean, it might be worth looking for a while. We shouldn't wander too far from the path, but I'm sure we can spend some time.
I don't want any more of those creatures at our back.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you. We should take a moment to scout our surroundings. So, can we?
Yeah, sure. So if you want survival checks or perception checks, you can make those. I'm assuming you're just sort of looking for like evidence of werewolfy stuff in general.
Yeah.
Ooh.
From everybody? Or, sorry.
From whoever would like to be looking.
Brynjolf's definitely looking. He's sitting, or he's standing by the path, just chugging whatever's left of this rum, waiting for these cunts to get moving.
That's a 22.
Yeah, moving. 22.
To investigate where this guy came from.
Yeah, so you head into the copse of trees. You find like a small kind of nest that he sort of made for himself. It looks like there's some old ragged clothes in there. The remains of his pack with like some old moldy food provisions. And there's these sort of bloodstained this bloodstained cloak that he was sort of lying under when he got up to hear who was coming up the path to help, maybe.
Any remains of that we can determine?
None that you can see.
All right, now that we have this investigated, should we continue up the path?
Yep. Good for that.
Very well. The path continues. The afternoon, the sky darkens still further, potentially looking more and more like rain, much to Lenyel's chagrin. You continue sort of beginning to climb finally towards the tower. It's getting to be about what would normally be dinner time at this point. And you find like a large sort of copse of trees that crosses over the path. And lying at the foot of it is what looks to be a giant dead bird, probably about the size of a man, but like curled up at the foot of these trees, an arrow sticking out of it.
Looks like
Go up and investigate it.
Okay. So you roll it over, and you see that it's this brightly colored bird, extremely sharp talons. Its head, though, is this twisted skull of what looks to be some kind of stag or elk, and it's got these great antlers that sort of arc at the back, and these bloodied jaws. You can actually see, like, clamped within the jaws is a piece of viscera and what looks to be a human hand, and it's just stuck with arrows all in the front.
Do I recognize what this creature is?
You may roll nature.
Probably not. That's an 8, unless I have advantage because it's like something she encountered before. No, that was the gargoyle she encountered.
Yeah.
Never mind. Not this.
No.
8.
You have no idea what this creature is. Anyone else who wishes to make the check may?
I got an 11.
You have no idea what this creature is.
Okay, good.
I got a 17.
You have an idea of what this creature is. You think it's a peryton, crazed, flesh-eating bird creature that prefers to prey on humanoids. One thing you would know with that role is that they tend to be extremely solitary and almost never fly in groups, apart from coming together to mate and raise children, and then or raise young, and then are all apart again.
Is it
So
typical
you-
to find this one so close to?
It's not atypical. I mean, you know, most people don't even come out this far, so you wouldn't really know that, but you would know that they're pretty hard to kill. And so you can see there's like a lot of arrows sticking out of this one. And
Again?
a peryton. Put it in the chat. Yeah, it's got a human hand in its mouth.
I'm surprised they took this fucker down.
It looks
Does it
like
have
they-
any rings on it?
No, it's not big enough. It wouldn't be big enough to carry a person.
No, I
No,
said rings.
rings like on the hand.
two-
Oh, I thought you said reins.
Oh.
God damn it. No, there's no rings on the hand.
So they worked hard to take it down. I love the idea that I just stepped out and look at the hand. These are tower building hands.
Well, it was certainly a handful to take down. Sorry.
Can the arrows be salvaged?
Ooh, make me a survival check.
10.
Okay, roll me a d4.
4.
2 arrows can be salvaged. The rest are snapped, or you can't get them out without breaking them. But 2 arrows, 2 good working arrows. And you are keeping track of arrows, yes, Jade?
Yes.
Good shit. Yeah, the arrows are very bog standard. They're not particularly well made, but they're about the same as yours, to be honest. And very much the Vulcan Tower standard. What would you all like to do?
Are there any like parts of this that are particularly valuable, like claws or?
Yeah, the claws you could definitely sell. The antlers potentially as well, though the claws are used in like herbalism and that sort of thing quite often.
Random thought. Could I make anything out of them using my smith's tools?
The claws or the antlers?
Both.
you could probably make something out of the antlers. The claws are probably not strong enough to be much use to you, but you could definitely make like some good, bone dagger handles, or that sort of thing out of the antlers. Maybe a dope-ass helmet.
Can I try to salvage some of these to
You
sell?
may. So I will check it out.
Brynjolf makes a move like he's gonna help and like salvage the antlers, but then he's like, "You can have them."
I mean, you can. You're more than welcome to the antlers if you want them.
I don't think I'll be getting. I think I'll be getting much use out of them.
All right. Well, it's 23.
Okay, yeah, you can get the antlers and all the claws. No bother.
Sweet.
You reckon the claws could probably go for about 2 or 3 silver each.
And how many of them are?
10. Which is, a lot of gold.
And then the antlers?
A good amount. The antlers is trickier. You think maybe you could get somewhere between 10 to 20 silver for
the lot?
For the skull and antlers, like as a unit.
How much could they get for the hand?
X max. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but unless there's anything else you'd like to do to this poor deceased creature.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Girls gotta eat. That
Plenty of meat on it.
Everyone take
There's
a short rest here and feast on the bones of this creature.
I was thinking more along the lines of I need coin to eat, but I mean, if you want to eat this, by all means.
I always want to eat coin.
Right then.
Does it look like healthy? It's not some mangy beast.
It looks okay. They're not particularly clean animals, but they're just animals, But yeah, no, it looks quite fat. There's no signs of mange or rabidness.
It was not rapid.
There was no signs of rabidity.
It's not a rabbit, it's a parrot.
Anything special about the arrows in it?
No, as I described earlier, they're bog standard Voltham Towers arrows, of which Tegan was able to.
So you'd know this if you could walk away.
Oh, true.
Oh, sorry.
I have
Sorry.
been here since 4. I've been here since 4, since Rob put up the hangout.
Do you know who else has been here since Rob put up the hangout? Rob.
You.
Do you know who else remembered the arrows? Rob. 0 excuses. Boom.
Ooh.
Destroyed.
Is anyone
I'm hurt.
object to a short
I'm feeling
rest
hurt.
eat this Periton?
I look around. What kind of time is it? Is it a good time to be?
So you've probably got maybe
for an hour.
4 hours till dusk. You think maybe you could get to the tower, which you can see at the top of the next hill, maybe in about 2 hours.
Okay.
So you've got a little bit of window, yeah.
I think we have time, Dwarf. Do you want to cut me a leg of this thing?
I mean, I would if it still had claws. But I like start hacking it and trying to make like decently sized steak pieces.
Yeah, fucking do it.
Come up over a makeshift fire.
You can,
Use
if you
all
eat
my-
the hand, I'll cure your vampirism.
I don't have vampirism, so we're okay.
Lycanthropism.
I wouldn't know that.
Okay.
But you'll gain cannibalism.
Tastes
Hunger.
like human flesh.
Oh.
If any of you have seen It's Always Sunny, then you'd know about the hunger. So.
Where the fuck's my D6 list?
Yeah, so we'll have a short rest, and we'll have a short rest in real life, which is to say a break.
A 1 hour break.
Yes.
Excellent.
A 1 day break. We're playing Indroth today. You can have an hour or 2 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
Where the fuck do you find my hit dice?
Got a 15. And no, I got 18. So I'm at full again.
Woo!
I need to find out how many. I healed like 13. 13 plus 9. I'm at full.
Very nice, very nice. By the way, as I said earlier, you should all be listening to some form of black metal. For
If I was listening to anything besides you, I wouldn't hear a word you said.
I don't know if that's an insult or.
No,
something.
it's more a fact that I struggle to focus on more than one thing.
Are you not constantly playing music no matter what you're doing in life, though?
No.
Ugh. Must be so boring.
The only time I listen to music is when I'm like sitting on a bus, or like back when I used to sit on a bus, or when I'm driving somewhere and I have my podcast playing. That's about it.
God.
I know, right?
Literally, almost every second of the day, I listen to music.
Because I feel like if I was like listening to music, I think there was one time where music was playing. It wasn't of my choice. I think the DM had it on, and I was just like, "How the fuck can I turn this music off?" Because it is so loud and I have no idea what's going on, and I can't even hear anyone talk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play music at the same volume I play. The voice is like it's very quiet in the background. But yeah, I got to have music, man. Still, it's good. Oh man, this has been such a long week. I'm glad it's over. But I think next week's going to be just as long, to be honest. But it's the weekend. And I got a day of rugby watching tomorrow. Good day.
I'm back on commentary for tomorrow.
Woo!
Normally, it would mean that I would possibly be late for the game tomorrow, but because I can't lift anything or help with like putting the ring away, I'm just like, well, the show's over. See you guys later.
Later.
I can't help. If I could, I would, but I can't.
What's the promotion that you commentate on?
WrestleZone.
Ah, yeah, that's it.
Or WrestleZone Scotland, because WrestleZone is also the name of a dirt sheet. Which can lead to awkward interactions on Twitter, but hey.
The Wrestle
Yeah.
Zone?
Yeah. And our company is called WrestleZone Scotland officially, but it's just we just call it WrestleZone.
WrestleZone.
We have our Royal Rumble. We nicked it.
I think every promotion does a rumble of some kind around January, February.
Regal Rumble. Winner gets a shot at the undisputed title at Aberdeen Anarchy.
I was going to say, in Scotland, the winner just gets a shot of a liquor of their choice.
Hey, we have Pack. Yep, fucking Neville.
Isn't
You've got
Aberdeen?
Neville.
We've got Neville coming.
Oh shit! You commentating over Neville, boy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I did
that's some real shit. Nice.
commentated over Chavo and Santino last year.
Did you?
Mhm.
Oh, Liam.
Anarchy is like the only year where we get like big import names. Like all the other time, it's mostly just our own guys and
Dude,
like other guys.
I was so sad when Neville left WWE. I mean, I get it. It's like they were not utilizing him, but I always hate to see like because that dude is fucking insanely talented.
That's why I'm so
Holy
surprised we got him.
shit!
Because usually we just get like guys who are like just past their prime. Like Chavo's been gone for a long time, same with Santino.
Yeah.
But then Neville's like the biggest name at the minute.
Yeah,
So it's like,
and fucking like when he switched from that weird "I'm from space" character to the fucking badass heel he was in, dude can fucking murder a promo. I was like, damn, that is shit. I loved it. And then WWE, you know, do what they do.
Lose to Enzo.
Fucking Enzo. Anyway, you rest a while, you roast a periton, you consume its flesh and all the tapeworms therein.
Cooked tapeworms, though. Cooked
tapeworms, yeah. You survived this round.
It's a special recipe my granny taught me. Roast periton a la worm tape.
Yeah.
I'm joking at the high granny. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Son of none hasn't got a granny. That's the saddest thing about his whole backstory.
I just don't ken who the bastard is.
Hey.
Got my whole backstory, just read the fucking thing.
Yeah. Do read it, it's good. So we continue on, and you skirt this copse of trees and begin ascending the final hill to the tower. You arrive at the remains of an archway amid ruined, sort of crumbled stone that maybe used to have some kind of wall or anterior building, but now is just a pile of rocks. The tower itself is built on a sort of rocky outcrop, much like my overlay, next to a tree that is slightly more wilted and dead looking than the one in my overlay. Only the bottom half of the tower remains. The top half lies all about the foot of the cliff, sort of crumbled down and broken. And there's lots of moss and vines growing up the side of the tower. As you approach, you see lots of building materials, packs, supplies kind of strewn around. Not necessarily like they've been thrown around, but more they've sort of been put down and moved and used, and then sort of left where they were for some reason. The tower beyond there's a small doorway beyond which looks extremely dark as the sort of roof's crumbled in, so there's not much light getting in to the lower levels, as the floor of one of the mid levels is sort of filled with rubble, so the stairway is impassable, and so there's no light getting into the bottom floor apart from through this one door.
Can I try inspect the scene a little bit and maybe, take a look around?
Yeah.
See if I can see any evidence of a struggle or why they just abandoned their tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a investigation check.
I would like to help him.
You may give him advantage or make one yourself. That's up to you.
Do you want?
You can have advantage, Dan.
Oh, okay. That help considerably. Investigation of a 17.
Okay. So you see a couple of the items are flecked with blood, and the flecks and sort of end up in a trail that leads into the door of the tower. There's not really signs of a fight, which gives you the impression that maybe whoever was here was snuck upon and was not expecting to be, or not expecting to stop what they were doing at the time they were doing it.
But there's only a few flecks of blood and their corpses and no drag marks or anything to be seen at all.
Not outside.
Okay. Something happened here. There is a little blood over some of these tools. I think they were taken by surprise.
Maybe they were just hardworking.
I'd like to be optimistic and consider that, but given previous evidence.
Are there any... Did you say there were bodies?
No.
No bodies, no drag marks, just flecks of blood occasionally on some tools.
Do you think this was our pal from earlier? Or his gang of mongrels?
Well, they were here whenever they killed the bird thing. Could we tell? I know this is kind of retroactive, but just now thought of it. Could we tell how long that thing had been dead?
Yeah, a couple days.
Like shorter time, longer time, just wounds?
It had been dead a shorter time. So I had to work that one out. Not much shorter, but shorter.
There must have been around to kill the bird, right? Because
I presume little else would have shot so many arrows into a bird.
it had to have been a large group of people.
But they're gone now.
Or people with really quick arrows?
Shall we try the door?
Is there a door?
There's a doorway into the tower here.
The base of the tower, yeah.
Daniel will go up and open the door.
It is open. It's a doorway.
Oh, I will go and peer in the doorway.
So the room beyond is extremely dark, but your elf eyes can make out a fairly strange scene within. You see two bodies bound and gagged and seemingly asleep or unconscious, lying in the far left corner of the room. In the center of the room is a very large stew pot, which is slowly bubbling over a very small fire. Around the stew pot is a circle of dried blood, and you see like the rest of the furniture in the tower is sort of destroyed and old and kind of ruined by the ravages of time. As for kind of everything else, or as for the any sign of other or living people, there is none. But you think the two people in the corner are alive.
I would like to use my divine sense.
To look for?
Undead, celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet.
You find none of any of them.
All right. And is this place consecrated or desecrated? Can I sense that?
It's no, so it's not been consecrated or desecrated, but you think that this blood is maybe the sign of some kind of liturgy.
Like somebody's trying to do something?
Like some kind of sacrament. Just try not to say it.
No. Gotcha.
That's why I don't trust religion. No offense.
Yeah, I'm gonna like peek back outside and tell the others what I saw there, especially like the possibly 2 unconscious people in the back pot that is bubbling, which means that you don't unsupervised if you're cooking something. Yes, I'm saying.
Was there a way up or a way down?
So the way up, as I described, the only floor remaining above is completely covered in rubble, and so the stairs are basically being filled in, so you can't get up. It's a one-room deal for the moment.
Okay. But there is not a way down either then.
Correct.
Okay.
But we can get into the room.
You can get into this single room.
Yes.
I'd like to take another look around, presuming. Do I not see anything immediately trying to attack us?
You do not.
Then we save the people, surely?
They workers or freemen?
Workers.
Can't tell that by
I
workers.
mean, you know all the freemen. There's like 12 of them, and you live with them, and it's none of them.
There's about to be far less.
None of the 2 that came out here.
No.
Okay. They were workers. She says definitively.
They don't deserve to be left here.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm just trying to get a handle on what happened.
Looks like something has been. There was a circle of blood, as I described earlier.
It's around the pot, not around the room, so we could
Yes.
navigate.
Yeah, but it came from somewhere, and there's probably something. The remains of the others in that pot, most likely. Whatever attacked these people have been working on something, and they'll probably be back soon. So if we're going to rescue them, we should probably do it quickly.
How do we know it's a trap?
Do you really
Suppose
think
it could be?
Do you want to stay out here and watch while we go in and save the people?
If you want. Although my eyes never used to
Son
be,
of stone.
my eyes never used to be, so I imagine I probably wouldn't be too much help.
Klaus is going to go in and try and interact with the people.
Okay.
Because standing out here and talking about interacting with the people,
Isn't going to help.
it's going to waste time till the other enemy people come back and.
You step inside and head up to the people and sort of try and wake them, but they seem unresponsive.
But breathing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be coming in behind Klaus.
Okay.
So even after like heavy shaking or something.
Yeah. You reckon fairly obviously that they've been drugged somehow.
Right, but they're not like werewolf bit or anything.
No.
Okay. Okay. There's no evidence of whatever creature has set this pot in this place.
None that you can see.
Okay.
Lanielle's going to. Are the figures male, female, both male?
One male, one female.
Both human?
Both human.
It's a big resource to burn. She's going to lay her hands on the man on his shoulder, and she's going to use 5 points of her lay on hands to neutralize a poison that is affecting him.
Okay, you see him begin to stir. He sort of sniffs, and he is gagged, so he sort of begins to like let out this sort of muffled moan, and his eyes kind of crack open, and he's all looking up at you. He looks groggy, but slowly coming to.
I'd sort of tell him to shush a little bit or keep it down, and then pull the gag out. What happened here?
So his eyes are sort of wide as he's sort of remembering where he is and the situation he's in. And you see panic start to rise, and he sort of lets out like a small whimper. And he says, she came from nowhere. I've never seen her. And she just grabbed us.
I'm kind of picking them up, organizing them to evacuate them while I'm asking these questions.
Yeah, okay. So untying their hands and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like the witch, I don't know, she's in like black robes. Oh, this old crone. She just grabbed us.
She took out all 10, 12 of you?
Well, there was originally 10, and then
12. It was 10 workers.
10 workers and 2 freemen.
I believe it was 10 total.
10 total.
I believe it was 10 total.
Okay.
He sent 10 men, 2 of whom were freemen.
I see, sorry.
Because if I remember rightly, the thing was he sent 10 men to their deaths, and he's about to send 4 more.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry to interrupt. There were 10 of us at first.
There's 10 of us at first, but then James he got bitten, and the other, a few of them got killed, but we got away, and then there was that bird thing, and we killed that, but and then the freemen were dead, and it was just us, and there was only 5 of us left. She's cooked the other 3. And he stares past you at the pot. I'm beginning to weep.
So the hag came first, or was she the last to show up?
She was the last. She was here already.
Here already? Down below?
He shakes his head. In here. Is that looking from side to side to try and see her?
So James got bitten on their way to the tower?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they fought the Periton. And then the hag is here.
Gotcha.
Do I know how dangerous a hag is? Or do I just think it's some horrible eldritch creature? Or
You can make me whatever check you feel like would be most appropriate. History, Arcana, even nature if you wanted to.
14. History.
So if what they're talking about is a true hag, then you think you're pretty much screwed. But true hags, they don't really come around much.
But it was something to take out 3 grown men / women and put them in a pot while she bound the other 2. It's not messing around.
Very much so.
Yeah.
But whether or not there's a true hag, like true hags have the power, according to legend and lore, to like make forests come alive and attack, entire civilizations. Like,
Okay.
so this seems fairly low level to be that sort of thing.
Whew. Well, perhaps we should leave quickly. He says that Millennial.
Can you carry the woman? She's asking the worker.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah. He'll like bend and try and pick her up, and his knees are a little weak, but he manages. Just kind of throws her over the shoulder. Are you heading out then immediately?
So Tegan seems like she's like a hunter, right? Like a nature type. So I imagine they sort of get to the doorway, and these two are still alive. The other three have been taken, and he kind of like looks around, put in the pot, by a hag. Might be back any moment. We are thinking of leaving, but do you have a poison we could put in this pot? Maybe see an end to this hag without us, fighting to our deaths.
Tegan will kind of make a show of like patting her pockets. I'm fresh out of hag poison.
I just thought I'd ask. You seem to know your way around these woods reasonably well.
Tegan, you can make me a survival or nature check if you like.
I like those odds. 22.
Okay, so native to this area of Indroth, very much like a common sort of item or plant is poisonous mushrooms. There's several brands, several species. But that there's one in particular that you've seen on your way up here, called Mundus amanita, that is particularly deadly.
It's just this hag is like less than a day away from the towers and could be a threat. And if we were to poison this stew, and you see its like face kind of like twitch a little bit when he says that, we might make it safer for everyone.
I mean, there's a few varieties of mushroom. Saw one on the way in.
Close by?
Relatively close. I mean, how much time are we talking about? Do we know how far the creature is away?
I imagine I kind of looked at you wide-eyed and shake my head. I don't believe we have any idea how far away she is, right, bro?
Yeah, you've got no way of knowing.
Yeah. And he just sort of shakes his head and...
In a few. You know what? Let's work quickly.
He nods at that.
I continue keeping an eye out.
I guess I'll go mushroom hunting. How far back do I think? Remember seeing those?
About 5 minutes. Just like they were on the side of the path.
Can I help her with any kind of check she has to make?
Well, she already knew, she already spotted them. So she already spotted them. So I'll just
but I'm gonna be finding like some of like the trees near the tower or whatever. maybe near where Brynwolf is, and I'm just gonna hunker down and hide and just watch the tower. It's like, if she goes and finds mushrooms, I want to make sure the hag didn't come back while she was out hunting, help her actually hunt.
Okay, sounds good. I'll take a perception check then, please.
Right. 19.
19. Okay. You don't see the hag.
I rolled a 19 for a 20, as I was also keeping an eye out.
Cool. You also don't see the hag.
If I say I rolled a 19, will it make any difference?
You also don't see the hag. But yeah. Tegan returns with the mushrooms. Nothing seems to have happened so far.
Before she like heads back in, I want to like go back up to the doorway, like out of sight, and do another divine sense.
Okay.
See if I feel any nauseous odors besides the smell of that foul stew brewing.
What does that actually give you again? Sorry.
Divine sense
Yeah.
lets me detect the presence of I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. I know that the hag might not count, but I'm still doing it to make sure. No, shame.
Okay, yeah. There's nothing.
Okie dokie.
And so with that, you head off again once more. Your progress slow, but
Are we not poisoning the pot?
yeah, I sort of assumed we'd already done that.
Oh, well, we didn't actually say that we did it, but if we're just going to be able to do it, then fine. But it was going to be an ordeal.
Are you done?
I have a feeling it's not going to matter,
Yeah.
but we do. And we leave feeling it has.
Yeah.
And then you get home and that's the end.
Oh, good.
No,
I mean, ow!
This is Indroth.
yeah. Us. Okay. Yeah. So none of you are feeling terribly good.
You don't say.
More, there's a slowly creeping sensation, a nagging feeling that
A hagging feeling? Sorry. Carry on.
a nagging feeling that there's something else, maybe something you missed or something watching you. You don't feel comfortable right now on your way back. You're maybe 2 hours hence from the tower. Night is coming in fast now, and you'll know you'll have to stop soon. But you feel
Looking
like you
about?
don't. Pardon?
Looking about? Was she anything?
Make me a perception check.
I'll do the same. Oh, shite.
Oh, that's much better than my last roll. That's a 21.
Ooh, very nice.
15.
10.
You see nothing.
You'll say nothing.
Brynjolf looks at the floor in angsty contemplation
So angsty.
instead of forward where he should be fucking looking.
Yeah. All right, Liam. But yes, you find yourselves feeling uneasy, and you know that you'll have to stop soon, as things wander at night, and it does well to hide oneself from such things.
But we're only 2 hours or less out from the...
Hour.
An hour away.
Out from the tower, I think.
Yeah, so you've just set out.
Essentially, we're at the bottom of the hill. If I remember right,
Yep.
you said the
Yeah.
hill would take 2 hours to
So
walk
you've
up.
still got a day to get back to.
Oh, right. I see. Right.
Mm-hmm.
An hour from the tower, but not the tower that we are returning to.
An hour from the tower, not an hour from the towers.
Yes. Very well. Oh, crap.
Area where they killed the Periton or a bunch of trees.
Not quite. Yeah. Sort of right in that area. Yeah. Yeah. There's loads of trees.
Has the woman recovered? Or is she still...
No, not yet.
Okay. I think we need to start seeking shelter. Somewhere we won't be spotted.
In the trees is usually a good idea.
Like in the trees or in amongst the trees? 'Cause that's 2 very different things.
In the trees, child of stone.
Like
What?
up in the trees.
You-
So, yeah, are
you-
you saying I'm gonna have to climb a fucking tree? Is what I'm asking.
You're
I mean, we'll
strong
give you a
enough.
boost.
Fuck. All right, fine.
You remember what we ran into in the woods?
It was a
What's
fucking
running
tree.
There were the things before the tree, if you recall.
Oh, aye. All right, whatever you say.
Very well. And so you, yes, you continue on.
I thought we were resting.
Yeah, as in sorry. That's always just my go-to thing to say. So you continue on and find a place to bed down. So you're in a tree, correct? Up in a tree,
That's the biggest.
Daniel is.
Yes.
and you're able to kind of lug the stoned woman up there. Somehow. And once you sort of settle in and bed down, is someone keeping watch?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I will take.
Can I take first? Being puny human
Sure.
and needing the light. Good.
Yeah,
Go
'cause
for it.
Very
I
well.
would not recommend lighting a fire if we don't have to.
No.
Yes. I understand that. I'm not going to use light either.
Make me a perception check then, please.
Ooh. That perception is a 6.
Everything's chill.
Oh, good. I am glad. I am digging the chillness.
So chill.
Who do you wake?
Did anyone elect to be woken? Or do you want me to just pick?
Just pick.
I know what I
popcorn
wanted. Yeah,
watch.
just pick one. Yeah, yeah.
Danielle, then.
All right.
She's been keen. Been helpful thus far.
Yes. She'll kind of give you a nod and get up, wake up a bit. During her watch, she's going to hide in the branches.
Okay, then I'll take a stealth and a perception check then.
The stealth, is a 18.
Mm-hmm.
And the perception is 16.
Very well. You see a wolf trotting through the forest beneath you, and it stops and begins sniffing the air, looks around, and then, with a crack of bone, shifts into the form of a hideous old woman who begins looking up at the trees, sniffing the air.
Is there anyone in the tree I am currently at, or are we kind of spaced out a bit?
That is up to you people.
Well, you people,
wherever the tree is that would probably support my enormous weight, it would be that one. So it depends on how the trees are. Like if there's a big one and then there's a bunch of little ones all around it. In any case, I'm in the biggest one, wherever that is.
How long was the first watch?
Like 2-3 hours, maybe. I don't know.
So did I get a long rest in technically or no?
Alfie, yeah. As an elf, you did.
Yeah.
Cool. You can trance.
Because
Thanks, man. Well, then whoever is in my tree that I can like reach with a hand, Laniel will be like putting one hand over their mouth and kind of like nudging them awake. So I don't know if that is
Sure.
possible.
elves trance together.
Yeah, so the elves can have a long rest. The other two, you've yet to achieve a proper long rest.
Oh, nice.
You can have a short rest, though, if you need it. But we already have one of those.
Yeah, so waking Tegan and pointing out the hag. Laniel has the longbow at her back, and she'll kind of like look at Tegan, kind of like pointing towards their bows.
Tegan will ready a bow, knock an arrow.
Laniel will as well. And bless on herself, Tegan, and Brynjolf.
Sadness.
You're a cleric. You're gonna make her do a bunch of saves. And then me and Tegan are gonna do some cool ass elfie
Double bow.
double bow action.
Are we even awake at this point? Is Brynjolf just getting a bless to his good night sleep?
I wait to describe it as I get blessed and I like smile in my sleep and like roll over
Yeah.
or in my tree.
He was having a nightmare, but it suddenly turned to like him just swimming in a bath veil with hairy
Started off
women.
seeing an enormous wolf coming at me, but then he turned into a puppy.
Whatever floats your boat. Yeah.
I mean, I
shoot it up.
didn't think that we could wake you without alerting the hag. So you'll wake up whenever the other stuff starts
I want to
happening.
hear
I'm
what
sure.
shit happened. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
That is a natural 20.
Yes, he doesn't have to do combat.
That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
Try it.
I really want you to get a crit as well.
Fuck.
It would have been great.
Like a
I didn't get very good on my damage. Mine was only 3 points of damage.
16. Right in the neck.
So these two arrows just through the night, and just the hag lets out this horrific warbling screech that rouses anyone who wasn't awake.
He like rolls out the tree.
And she's like pulls the arrow out, and it just comes out in a spurt of blood. It's just running down her neck. Just stares up around. Hey Jade, roll me a D100 there, buddy.
Oh no!
Woohoo!
Roll a one.
She turns into
Me
a
and
hag.
Jade, or just Jade?
Did you crit?
Oh no! Oh, I see.
69.
Oh, yeah, boys.
She suddenly gets an
She
STD.
dies instantly.
No!
Okay.
She gets an STD.
So,
You nick my fucking joke.
yeah. It was a dirty arrow.
Don't know
So-
where it's been. Oh.
Inside a periton, maybe.
It's got
This arrow flies and actually strikes her in the back of the head fracturing her skull. And so she has a skull fracture. Whenever she attempts an action in combat, she has to make a DC 20 Constitution save or lose her action and can't use reactions until the start of the next turn.
Oh shit! We might actually survive.
Oh,
Nice.
God damn it. All right.
That's that.
It's her go. She sees the two archers. She makes her Constitution saving throw at a +0, so she has to get a natural 20. That's a natural 2.
Oh,
She begins seeing double, and there's suddenly 4 elves in the trees.
Yeah, there are.
Fucking let's roll initiative now.
oh shit!
Watch me rolling that 20 on the initiative as well.
Fucking blew my nat 20.
That's what I rolled.
It's a 21.
Nice.
I got 8.
No.
I got 22.
I'm sorry. An 11. I don't. What? No, an 11, not 21.
God, fucking damn it.
I got another nat 20 for 23.
So did I. I got nat 20, 22.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking
Love
blew
these
it.
dice.
3 nat 20s on initiative.
Jesus. Fuck.
Fucking stupid
Wait,
bollocks.
who's the third?
You said the hack did.
No, I said watch her get a nat 20.
All right.
As in, like,
okay.
I need her to nat 20 to be able to fucking code of code you motherfuckers.
Fucking do anything.
Damn it.
So you get when you had
God.
major
fucking
damage,
damn
my
it.
dude. Double-edged sword.
I hope she doesn't have any magical healing.
To be fair, Rob never said that one would be fixed by magical healing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rob. Roberto.
Why are you helping?
Robertson.
She sucks down a poke now. No. There's magical healing. Magical healing is, potions and whatnot, how much that's common. Tegan, you're up first.
That is a 16.
That is a hit.
I really want to know that quick.
Oh no. That is 9 points of damage.
Very nice. Brynjolf.
I'm groggy because I've just had a half sleep, and then I saw these puppies, and I'm like, oh, they're cute puppies. And then I immediately hear this shrill screeching as I fall from my tree. I sort of stand up and oh fuck! And then I run and I try and slice her with my axe.
You take 3 damage.
Eh? Oh,
You
falling from the tree.
fell from a tree.
Okay. I don't know if it was a high tree.
That was some indignation.
Apologies. Fuck. 21.
It's
Half it's my fucking damage. 12 points of damage. I think. 6 plus 5. No, 11 points of damage. I can't do math. Sorry.
11.
Yeah, 11.
Okay.
And then I'm going to action surge and axe her again.
Okay.
Roll the same for my hit. So that hits.
Yeah.
Followed by... No, this time it is actually 12 points of damage.
Describe how you kill this hag.
What?
She
What?
is straight out of the book, a mage, 40 hit points, and she got 19 in the first one, then a 9, which took her up to 28, and so she only had 12 hit points left at the start of Brynjolf's turn. And you were like, I did 12 damage. I was like, oh, what?
What?
So Brynjolf,
What?
he wakes up from his tree, turns around the corner, right, this fucking bitch. Comes in, sees where the arrow is, and very quickly it just deduces a striking pattern, hits her in the back, slices off the back of her, or cracks her right in the skull. Just down she goes.
Yeah, and she just dead.
Well,
Good job, Master Dwarf.
what happened? What the fuck?
Klaus rolls over in his sleep, going, yum, 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 world of light, yum, yum, yum.
I'm gonna check her. I'm gonna check her loot. I'm gonna loot her body. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So on her, she does have one interesting thing. I would like you to roll me a d6, please.
You got it. I got a
Man,
1.
Okay, now I'd like you to roll me a d100, please.
Oh God.
Oh no.
It's
It
a
was
bomb.
odds or evens if it was cursed or not.
13. Definitely cursed. 13.
13.
An odd cursed item? Yeah.
Number 13 as well. Yes. You
As if I don't
find
have enough.
a small bracelet made of interwoven rings of iron that she is wearing around her wrist, her left wrist, to be precise.
Would that be worth much back at Voltham Towers?
What for iron, not particularly, like just iron, but you're getting a decidedly gribbly magical impression from this item.
None of you bastards can check this, can you? I don't want to touch it if it's going to give me more fucking problems. Is that the response I get? Just bewildered silence?
Yeah, it's
Snoring?
not-
I don't know. If
It's a
I am
13.
awake, I would say I can ascertain that the nature of the magic, but not what it truly is.
By the way,
limited.
Daniel, sorry, is going to get down from the tree, feet, hands, and cut out her tongue. Make sure that her body can't follow us, and she cannot cast spells, and cannot do anything gribbly to us
I
after we're dead.
will give you inspiration for that, see?
By the
Fucking
lords of light, you elves are
Fucking
quite
hell.
something. As you like butchered this old woman.
She just kind of like looks at you and says it was these things that were left unattended that brought the dark.
I shall not leave my hands or tongue unattended then.
You're near a bastard, you're fine. I mean, you're probably a bastard, but you know what I mean. Fuck it, I'm going to pick up the bracelet and admire it.
Basically what I was telling you is I have detect magic and not identify because that's more arcane magics, but okay.
You can detect it if you want. I'm going to stop.
She and Laniel did kind of just chop it off the body for you.
Yeah, that's what I have. I can grab it. Why not?
Okay. So you pick it up and you feel that the wound or the wounds, the rings can like clip out from one another.
Okay.
So you can take off individual rings. But apart from that, you're not really sure.
I make a nice wee keepsake and I stick it in my pocket.
All right.
Right, back for a kip, eh?
Well, I guess we're not in a rush anymore.
I mean, we'd have ken fit else's in here with us, so I get two comfy chum. And I'd like attempt to climb into my tree, and then I kind of look over for some assistance in getting back in my tree.
Laniel will give you a boost up.
Cheers, Quine. Wake me up when you're feeling knackered, and I'll take a next watch.
And you'll give a nod and finish up her watch. Does she feel, does her like black wound feel any better after the hag is dead?
It feels much worse. I mean, not worse since she's dead, but every second it feels worse.
Do I have any idea if hags, carry... They potentially cast magic, to my knowledge. Do they carry any interesting ingredients for spells, perhaps of a restorative nature?
Perhaps a lesser restorative nature? Or greater, perhaps? Sorry, Karen.
Not that I have the ability to cast lesser restoration, but just something.
There's bound to be somebody back home, surely.
Really? Someone who's level 2? Are you mad?
I mean, there's
The last cleric died before he could be level 2, so
Yeah.
I'm saying there could be other people who aren't freemen who just live in the bounds of Voltham Towers who may be good at this stuff because they've been doing it for years.
So, hags are, like, physiologically just old women with some sort of dark skinwalking magic. And so, the actual ability to take anything useful from them is the same ability you'd have to take anything useful or harvest anything useful from, just an old woman.
If I'd found anything useful, I would tell you.
you get 1d4 knitting needles.
You get a bowl of never-ending Werther's Originals.
I was going to say, you get a D6 Werther's Originals.
1d4 knitting needles. Roll a d10 to see what gauge.
This item is cursed. Whenever you finish a meal, your plate replenishes itself, and you have to eat all over again.
I'm glad I just found a cursed bracelet now.
You are always cold and have to get up in the middle of the night to pee.
Your bedtime is now 6 p.m.
Your long rests now last 12 hours.
If you do not go to bed before 6 p.m., you wake up the next day exhausted with one level of exhaustion.
And incredibly grumpy.
If your children do not contact you every 1 to 6 days, you feel compelled to come and see them.
You must give inordinately large monetary gifts to all children
on their birthdays.
On their birthdays.
Yeah.
On their name days.
Complain about
lose a quarter of your total gold.
You can avoid the level of exhaustion if you congregate with other old men and women in the town square market and walk at least 3 circles counterclockwise.
Must spend every Sunday for a few hours with people of your own kind. So I find nothing useful in terms of components.
You find a cursed ring of grandmother.
Oh, okay.
You receive a piece of paper with several numbers in varying orders from numbers 1 to 90.
So there's no werewolf be gone then.
No.
Got a little spray bottle. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's like a cursed ring of grandmothers. It's like the belt of dwarven kind, where you have like a 50% chance every day of becoming more like your grandparents.
Growing wispy stubble.
Your waistline eventually creeps upward with each. Okay,
you now consider all of your life up until now to have been the good old days, and lament this often.
In your memory, everything is now uphill.
Both ways. In the snow.
You find modern practices highly irregular and unpleasant.
You lose the ability to interact with any sort of technological advancement.
Yeah.
Every short rest, you must watch an episode of Matlock.
Or Wheel of Fortune.
And you must make continual loud comments about it, disrupting anyone else's sleep.
I'm sorry, Rob.
You gain 1d12 cardigans. All right. I think we're sufficiently.
You get proficiency in Stanner stair lifts.
You gain proficiency in spider climb, but it costs you 10,000 gold each time you cast it because you got to buy a stair lift. Okay.
Your entire wardrobe has been replaced by either high-waisted jeans or sweatpants.
All in pastel colors, of course.
Or
Absolutely.
khakis. Yeah, khakis.
Right. No more grandmother bullshit.
When you die, your relatives receive half of your gold from your over 50 plan. Sorry, carry on.
Unless you gave it as a gift within the last 7 years, then they still get 40% tax on that. Just
And you get a
saying.
cool pen.
Inheritance tax is bullshit.
Whew, fucking hell. I need a cigarette.
So, the night goes off without a hitch, and you all begin marching your way home the next morning. Leniel and Brynjolf, you begin to feel weak and you slow down, and the rest of the party has to sort of help you get the last few miles to Voltham Towers.
Has the woman woken up yet?
Yeah. The woman would wake up the next morning.
And they're both uninjured.
Yeah,
relatively.
they're just shocked
Okay.
and slightly traumatized. But yeah.
Laniel would start like muttering in Elvish, speaking to the Allfather in like stuttering tones, but clearly speaking to something not there.
Brynjolf starts muttering in Dwarvish, fuck a shite, fuck a shite, fuck a shite.
I see no difference to how you normally behave.
And so, yes, you make it back to Voltham Towers. Your bodies are broken and weary, some of you more than others. And you're able to reclaim your payment. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a fine place to end the session. We'll explore what happens next in writings in session 3, I suppose.
Do you want me to just write Klaus reports them for werewolfism